You know, we're all taught that to be valuable, you have to be loud, you've got to have an opinion, you've got to speak up, make some noise. But what if that's all a trap? What if the most powerful people in any room are actually the quiet ones? Let's get into it. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some nice-sounding quote. It's a blueprint. It's suggesting that real power, real control, isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about knowing exactly when to say nothing at all. And that's a skill we've basically been trained to forget. So why does this idea feel so weird? Well, it's because we are terrified of quiet, right? I mean, think about it. That awkward pause in a conversation, the dead air in a meeting. We treat silence like it's a problem, like it's a void that has to be filled immediately. And that fear, that reflex, it puts us at a massive disadvantage. When we rush to speak, we're just reacting. We give away our position, we show our cards, and honestly, we often say things we haven't really thought through, all because we couldn't handle a few seconds of quiet. I know I've done it a million times. So what if this entire approach that we have to communication, to negotiation, even to our own thoughts, what if it's built on a totally flawed idea? What if that silence we're so desperately trying to avoid is actually our greatest untapped resource? And this is the wild part. Modern psychology completely backs this up. Silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a calculated, powerful move. It's not passive, it's an active choice. And when you learn how to use it, oh man, it can completely flip the script in just about any situation. This is the key right here, strategic silence. And that word strategic, that's everything. This isn't about being shy or not knowing what to say. It's about making a conscious, deliberate choice to hold back your words to get a specific advantage. Okay, so let's get to the fun part. How can you actually use this? How do you control a room, a negotiation, or even just a simple conversation without saying a single thing? This slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, that's what most of us do. We react, we fill the silence, and it just screams anxiety. But look at the right. That's a proactive choice, holding the silence. It projects pure confidence. It creates this vacuum, and people feel this overwhelming psychological need to fill it, often by giving you all the information you were looking for. And the advantages are just huge. When you finally do speak after a calculated pause, your words suddenly have 10 times the impact. You're encouraging other people to keep talking, to give up information, all while you get this critical time to think and observe. And maybe most importantly, you just look unshakably calm and in control. Okay, so controlling a room is an incredible skill, no doubt about it. But there's a whole other level to this. What if the real game changer here isn't about how silence influences other people, but about how it can completely transform your own mind? This is where silence goes from being a tool to being your own personal superpower. In this world of nonstop distraction, your ability to find and use quiet is directly linked to your ability to focus, to learn, and to really get into that state of deep, meaningful work. And here's the path to get there. It's pretty much a 3-step process. First, silence creates space. It just cuts off that fire hose of data coming at you, lowering your mental burden. In that newfound space, you get clarity. Your brain can finally breathe and connect the dots. And that is the gateway to deep work, that flow state where you do your absolute best thinking. And this chart really shows why this is so critical. I mean, look at what we're up against every single day. Between external noise and our digital alerts, a whopping 70% of our daily distractions are coming from outside of us. And that's before we even get to our own internal chatter. Actively choosing silence is the most direct weapon we have to fight back and reclaim our focus. So, we've seen how silence works as a tool for influence and as a tool for focus. The final piece of the puzzle is to stop seeing it as this empty, awkward thing we have to avoid. We need to start seeing it as a skill to be practiced, to be honed, a superpower just waiting for you to wield it. So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The next time you're in a conversation and that pause just hangs in the air, don't rush in. Don't save everyone. Just own it. Understand that your choice to stay quiet isn't an absence of a response. It is the response. A deliberate, powerful, and strategic one. Look, in a world that absolutely cannot stop talking, the person who has mastered silence has an almost unfair advantage.
So the only real question left is, when everyone else is scrambling to be loud, what will your silence say about you?